two niche smelling scents from the brand of Ahmed Al Maghribi called Latani and Summer Oud. Hey guys, I'm George, the nice smelling gentleman, and it's time for your dose of some fragrance content. It's also time for a few additional fragrance reviews. Now this week I've been concentrating on doing more reviews than usual because as I've said before, throughout this week I have a huge backlog of fragrances that are still waiting to be opened up. Some of them I've already started testing, so I really need to get some of those reviews out of the way. And today is the turn of two fragrances from the brand of Ahmed Al Maghribi that are called Summer Oud and Latani. Now when it comes to Latani, I've heard quite a bit about this fragrance. Both of them I don't think are anything new to the markets, but Latani is the one that's more famous, and I was really curious trying that one out. I also picked up Summer Oud at the same time because I really wanted to try more fragrances from the brand of Ahmed Al Maghribi. And I'm going to start by talking about Summer Oud. I'm going to leave Latani for the second part of this video. Now this is an interesting fragrance that in a way looks pretty similar to another one from the brand, which stands somewhere behind here and is called Ignite Oud. As you can see, the bottle design is pretty similar, but Ignite Oud comes in this green colored bottle, whereas Summer Oud comes in this sort of an ambery colored bottle. In both cases we're talking about a 60 milliliter bottle size with nice presentation. In fact, the presentation is quite good. The fragrance comes packed up in this sort of like a purplish or like a slight pink-ish type of colored box. On the front you got the name of the fragrance, on the back you get some additional information. The bottle size here, as I said, is 60 milliliters. The concentration is Extrait de Parfum. The production date, if anyone is interested, if I can find it, yeah, it's August of 2025. But once again, just as you can see, it's a nice presentation overall, quite lavish and luxurious. Even though both fragrances are not that expensive, they're not super cheap either, but I'll talk about pricing a little bit later. They also have nice pressurized sprayers. And onto the scent of Summer Oud. Now first of all, I think the name of this one can be a bit misleading because I don't find anything fresh or summery about the scent of Summer Oud. This is a fragrance that's heavily a lot more orientated towards the colder months of the year, and you have to be pretty brave to use this one in the summertime, at least in my opinion. Now, first of all, I don't think this is a clone of anything. It reminds me of a few fragrances out there, but definitely not a clone of anything that at least I've tried. This opens up very spicy with just a hint of freshness in the opening. I think there's an orange note or something like that, but mainly what you'll be greeted once you spray this one will be a heavy dose of the saffron note, a bit of greenness, a strong rose note that feels sweet and jammy. Lots of incense as well, and also a hint of leather and a hint of an agar oud note, which feels kind of slightly animalic, slightly skanky, but not something super challenging. This is the opening. It's very heavy on the floral notes, especially that rose note basically takes the center stage in the opening of this one. It feels a little bit floral and it also feels jammy sweet. Now the more this fragrance dries down, the more sweet it becomes. The leather becomes more pronounced on the dry down of this one. The incense will be with you throughout the life of this one. And also the agar oud note becomes a little bit stronger, but it also calms down in a way because it no longer feels as challenging as animalic as it feels in the opening. Again, it's not super challenging. Just for some untrained noses, this can come across a little bit skanky in the opening, but the more this dries down, the sweeter it becomes, and that agar oud note becomes a little bit softer. The rose still is with you on the dry down and will be with you throughout the life of this fragrance because, again, I think that's probably the main note in this one. Overall, this is an interesting, very Middle Eastern, very Oriental type of scent that relies on a heavy dose of rose, agar oud, leather, with some spices and some additional sweetness. Basically, that's what I pick up out of this fragrance. Again, it feels very Oriental, very Middle Eastern, and definitely doesn't feel summery or fresh or anything like that. Again, the name can be a little bit misleading. The quality of the scent is great, and another great thing about this one is the performance. This is a strong fragrance that lasts for a long time and also projects really nicely in the first 2, 3, maybe even over 3 hours if you spray this one. It's a very loud scent that projects strongly and can be a room filler type of scent for sure. Total longevity is also super nice with this one. I've been easily getting straight out of the box at least 9 hours, 10 hours, and with a bit of maturing, I've had both of them for a few weeks now. This at least will give me at least 9 to 10 hours of performance, and that's on skin. On clothes, this will last for a way longer. So overall, it's a pretty beastly performing scent. Now, price wise, this can depending on you know, where you live. I personally picked this one up for around about 30 to 33 euros, so you're looking at around about $35-36. Versatility wise, I find this one to be a unisex fragrance that leans to the masculine side, and again, definitely this is more of a cold weather fragrance. I just can't imagine anyone running around wearing this one in the summertime. And now let's move on to the second fragrance featured in today's video, which is called Latani. Now this is the reason why I got Summer Oud as well, because I was looking forward to trying Latani, and since I saw that Summer Oud is also available, it basically tagged along when I purchased Latani. Again, the presentation is very interesting. It's quite luxurious, and again, it's a two-part presentation. The box, this is the outside box, which contains the name of the fragrance. On the back you'll get some additional information, the brand name, the bottle size, which is 80 milliliters, the concentration, which is extrait de parfum, and the production date. In this case, it's again August of 2025. Once you open up the outside box, this is the inside box where the fragrance sits. It has magnetic edges, which is a nice touch, and overall, again, a very nice, very lavish presentation. This is the way that the bottle looks. It has this taller design. It's slightly bigger at 80 milliliters. Overall, just feels slightly more premium than Summer Oud, but it's also a little bit more expensive as well. This one, I paid for this one around about 50 euros, so around about $60. I don't know what's the pricing in other parts of the world, but I had my eye on this one for a long time, but I didn't purchase it earlier because it used to cost a lot more. It used to cost over 100 euros, and you know, that's why I didn't get it earlier. But once I saw it at a more reasonable price, I pulled the trigger. Now, this also has a very nice pressurized sprayer. And the scent itself, this one reminds me a lot of you know, another famous fragrance, unlike Summer Oud. This one smells a lot like Giza's Imperial Valley, but it doesn't feel like a straight up clone. This feels a little bit different. Now it opens up in a very fresh, a very interesting way that has some citruses, has some greenness. You'll pick up some agar oud in this one, some leather, and quite a bit of sweetness, but this is a lot softer than, let's say, Imperial Valley and some of the other clones of Imperial Valley that I've tried. I don't know if this is a clone or inspiration, but definitely this reminds me a lot of Imperial Valley. There's some greenness, some freshness in this one, a bit of citruses. The agar oud, the leather are strong without feeling animalic or challenging at all, and this also has quite a bit of sweetness. Feels kind of soft, and maybe a hint of incense as well, but it's a very nice, very pleasant opening that smells soft and smells a little bit balsamic and slightly resinous. The more this dries down, the more woody and leathery it becomes, while still retaining a lot of the sweetness and a lot of the softness. And overall, this smells very nice. I know that the Imperial Valley and that scent profile can be a bit challenging, a bit divisive, but personally I've really liked it a lot. You know, since the first time that I laid my nose on something similar to Imperial Valley. And over the past couple of years, this has been one of my favorite Middle Eastern Oriental scent profiles. I really like how versatile this fragrance is. The quality is really nice, and overall this just smells great. It feels a little bit different than Imperial to Imperial Valley because this is a little bit sweeter, a little bit softer, slightly less leathery and slightly less woody than the original one. The original one has slightly stronger leather note and slightly stronger agar oud notes. This one feels just overall slightly sweeter and slightly softer, and maybe even a little bit creamier, and that's a good thing in my opinion. Now when it comes to performance, initially when I first tried this one, when I got it out of the box, I was kind of disappointed because I was expecting this one to have strong performance, as people were claiming this one has. And initially it was giving me around about 7 hours of performance with slightly softer projection that I anticipated, and I was kind of disappointed. But the good thing is that even after just a few weeks of owning this one, the performance has become stronger and stronger, and nowadays it almost rivals the performance of Summer Oud. Still slightly less of a performance, meaning I'm getting about 8.5 to 9 hours out of this one with good projection, but again slightly softer than Summer Oud. Overall, for the moment, this is a strong performing scent. It needed a bit of time, but definitely not as strong as some people are claiming this one to be. I'm going to, try it in a few weeks time just to see how the performance has evolved, but it's a strong scent without being a beast, at least in my case on my skin. Price wise, as I said, around about 50 euros, around about $60. And versatility wise, this is another unisex fragrance in my opinion that leans to the masculine side. I find this one to be more versatile than, let's say, Summer Oud, even though Summer Oud carries that name. This is a fragrance, the scent profile of Imperial Valley I've always found to be very very versatile, that can be worn throughout the year, and the same can be said about Laathani. This is a signature scent worthy fragrance that basically you can daily drive throughout the year. Very nice quality, and overall it's been a pleasant fragrance to add to my collection. And a few very quick final words about Summer Oud and Latani, both from the brand of Ahmed Al Maghribi. Summer Oud is an interesting fragrance that smells very Middle Eastern, very heavy on the rose note, and something that I don't really associate with the name. Again, I think that the name Summer Oud can be a bit misleading, but it's a fragrance for those of you who like the note of rose, leather and agar oud. If you like those notes, incense as well, if you like those notes, definitely this one will be up to your liking. Nice quality and beastly performance straight out of the box. Latani is very similar to Imperial Valley, meaning that it's a very versatile fragrance. This one though feeling a little bit softer than than Imperial Valley, maybe more wearable for more people out there. A very versatile scent that you can daily drive throughout the year. It's a signature scent worthy fragrance that has a very nice quality, and overall both have been a very impressive in my opinion. And that's pretty much all I had for you guys in today's video. I hope that you found today's video interesting. As usual, if you did, give it a like, and I also hope that you're going to join me in the next one for your dose of some fragrance content. And until then, stay safe and bye bye.